What's up, citizens? This video is everything about NeoTokyo. A lot of people are asking about my sentiment and my opinion about NeoTokyo, so I'm going to share my thoughts on S1, the S2 Outer Citizens, the upcoming PUBG tournament coming. We're going to go over the Bytes price and pretty much everything NeoTokyo, so let's get right into it. For checking out the channel. Every day we put out a new video about cryptocurrency education, markets, giveaways, and more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any content. Now let's go to the moon. I'm going to cover a few things in this video, so you can just skip to whatever part you want to listen to. If you want to listen about S2s or if you want to listen about Bytes or S1s, you can just skip there. I'm going to start with what I think is important, and that's tomorrow's tournament. If you own an S2, and if you don't own an S2 and you're looking for one, then you need to make a decision ASAP, because tomorrow's tournament will determine who gets what land. And a lot of people were salty with how the tournaments were going, that it wasn't organized the best, it was lacking in professionalism. But you need to understand that these NFTs, the way they're being minted and the way they're being assigned to people, it's never been done before. This is a whole new model. We're playing for our NFTs. Instead of it randomly being assigned to people, you have the best players getting these NFTs, and it's a whole, they're doing it for fun. Like, where else are you winning hundreds of thousands of dollars, even potentially millions of dollars in an NFT gaming tournament? It's brand new of its kind. It's a whole new model. So you need to really be patient with this, because they're not professional tournaments. These are tournaments for us to just earn our NFTs, and you need to understand that. So you need to sign up before 8 p.m. today to actually play and earn one of these land NFTs. I think with the land and with the item, your S2 will form if you have the identity as well with those three NFTs. And I'm just taking a complete jab at this. Like, this is a complete guess. Nobody knows what's happening next with NeoTokyo, which direction it's taking, what games are coming. That's what you have to understand as well. Nobody knows, but you won't be left behind if you're paying attention. I was very nervous when I was playing these S1 games, because not only did I flop the mint, I was whitelisted for S1, but I wasn't fast enough. I was on wave 3, wave 4, there's a PDF issue as well, and I flopped. I bought S1 at about 3.5 ETH, and I was very nervous because everybody got their NFTs for free, and here I bought this NFT, and I'm not sure if I'm going to miss the next game. I'm not sure if I even have this information, and I was really nervous because I was also traveling. I was in Dubai for 30 days, and the time difference was different, so I was like really on my toes. But the community is so helpful, and now you have S2s have access to the NeoTokyo Discord, so there's no way you guys are going to miss out on anything in the future, and it's going to become a lot easier, especially when you guys form as full citizens. And then take this in as well. When we form all of the S2 citizens and we're done playing with these games, then I think Elio and Alex can really build out the community, can really start building the infrastructure, and not focus on these tournaments and not focus on, assigning the next NFTs for S2s and, reading hundreds and thousands of complaints because they didn't get into a lobby and things like that. It's not fair, and it's understandable if you're mad that you couldn't get into your lobby. You just have to chalk it up and hopefully you get into the next lobby. So I just wanted to point out that you need to get into this tournament to play for your land. We'll move to S1s now, and then we'll move back to the S2s. A lot of people are asking me, the floor has fell down so much. Is this sentiment inside NeoTokyo the same? Is it, falling apart? What's happening? Why is the floor falling down? Well, first of all, the whole crypto market has taken a plunge. We're in a very soft area. The world's in a very weird spot. So if we take a look at Bitcoin right now, and we're just going to take a look at it for a few seconds, if we break down here and make lower lows, and Ethereum breaks down and make lower lows, I think that'll only cause Byte to fall down and make lower lows as well, and more people will panic and sell their NFTs. You need to remember that majority of people here got their NFTs for free. They got their citizens for free. It was a free mint. And then you need to realize that some of these people, and Becker's mentioned it a few times, that a lot of these guys in NeoTokyo, and I'm not throwing hate at all. I'm not like, I'm just mentioning this, that a lot of these guys, their whole net worth or majority of their net worth is their NeoTokyo citizen. So when the market pulls back and their NFT and or net worth falls 50%, 60%, then they're going to start capitulating and listing their NFTs because it's majority of their wealth. The bytes they were receiving was majority of their income, their passive income, and it's massive sell pressure. So when we remove these types of market participants, will have long-term holders. Like, take a look at this. There's 199 for sale. That's only 10% of the supply. So if you actually look at the reward rate as well, you can see like 5+ is still holding a decent floor. At 5 rewards per day, it's 40. Yesterday it was 45. So a lot of people are just like panicking and underselling. This guy listed for 5 ETH under. He could have just did like 45 or something. So you can see there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of rush to sell. And I think this guy would maybe even take a 20, not 20, but maybe a 30 Ethereum offer or something like that. It looks like he's in a rush to sell. So if you look at 6 reward rate, because you still can earn passive income with these and you're still earning bytes. And with the bytes, you can choose to hold them for future burning events, or you can actually burn 2,000 bytes to mint your own S1 identity. You'd only get the identity. You'd still need the 3 other NFTs to form the full citizen. But if we look at 10 bytes per day, it's still worth 119 Ethereum. I have a 5 bytes per day. It was a floor of 100 Ethereum, but now it's a floor of 40. So about 60% drop. Nobody likes to see that, obviously, but just the sentiment of the market we're in, and there's so much fear. A lot of people are panicking and selling, and when we have new buyers, new funds stepping in, and just people who want to build and hold long term, because take in, there's only 2,000 of these, and the way I look at it is we're betting on Elio, we're betting on Alex and the whole community. What they've done already is honestly very impressive. And like I mentioned, when they actually start focusing on building NeoTokyo instead of the S2s and making the S2s happy and getting them into full citizens, I think we're gonna see some crazy shit, just to be blunt. And I think we'll see it in a more fast pace. So that's my thoughts on us S1. Post your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious what you think. If we move to S2, where I bought it, I remember it came out on my birthday as a S1. We had the link early. I was just doing birthday things. I bought it for 6 ETH. I made a video, and this is one of my last NeoTokyo videos, and it was telling people to buy it for 6. We moved up to 12, I think, and then after the tournament, we saw a lot of people dump their NFTs, and I'll give you a few reasons. So there's 4.5k items and 4.2k owners. There's still about 300 that need to be distributed to unique holders. So a lot of people in NeoTokyo, and I believe S1s, they own 5, some people own 10. I even heard some people own 15 of these. And then when we go to the logistics of the tournament, how are you going to set up 15 accounts, 15 different teams? I mean, you could do it. It takes a lot of time, but I think a lot of people realize that it is not efficient to own 5 of these or maybe 10 of these until they're actually full citizens, because like to organize 5, 10, 15 different players, 15 different discords, fill out the form 15 different times, like I'd rather just hit a good trade or something. Like that's too tedious and time consuming for me. And a lot of these guys in NeoTokyo are already successful or doing well in trading, so I don't think they have the time to do that. Maybe they can outsource it. So I think we're seeing a lot of sell pressure there, in my opinion. And then you have that a lot of people were salty. They weren't happy with how the tournament went. They're not familiar with how Becker and Elio work. And that info comes out like very last second. You need to be quick. Shit happens. You might not make it into the lobby. You might not make it into the Discord. And you kind of got to live with that. You'll still get an NFT. It might not be the best one. People might not get into the rounds tomorrow. It might not sit well with people, but once you make it past all this and into the S2 Discord and as a full citizen, I think that's when you really start to reap the rewards. A lot of people are asking, do S2s get bytes? Will they get some sort of passive income? Are they going to get something daily like us? And then if you look at the S2s and you look at the properties, I think the most you'll get, and it's hard for anybody to say, anybody commenting on this is just taking a complete guess. So I think that we will get allocations into the NeoTokyo games, into Alex Becker or Elio's games, specifically games for NeoTokyo or investments in the metaverse. I think those are the types of allocations we'll get as an investor in a ton of IDOs. I think the legal and regulatory issues with providing everybody with random IDO allocations, it would be too much work and there would be too much legal issues surrounding that. So if you go to properties, you can see allocation medium. So I'm assuming in NeoTokyo games, you might have a medium allocation. How much is that? It's hard to say. So this is a slightly rare character instead of just the non-color ones, and you can see allocation is medium. If we hop over to NeoTokyo item NFTs, they're sitting at 0.6, a little bit lower than a lot of people expected. But if we go to look at the items for S1 as well, like they're sitting at 1.7. So nobody should have expected anything crazy from that. If we look at the land, it's 2.9. So we can maybe expect the S2 lands to be a little bit more worth it, because land in the metaverse, that is what's popular. That's like owning real estate. So if they get any desirable pieces, I think that the land can go for higher for S2s, and I really think that will be it. That's what's going to compile or finalize your S2, and then you can upload. I think it'll be the item, I think it'll be the land, and then the identity, and then you will be a full citizen. So like I mentioned, get into the PUBG tournament and try your best. So we kind of went over S1s, we went over S2s. Now let's take a look at Bytes, and Bytes has been dumping for quite a while. I know a lot of people bought Bytes with the assumption that they're going to be burned on the first public tournament on Twitch, and then from there on it just kept dumping. The market didn't help. Bitcoin and the general crypto markets haven't helped because they took a plunge as well. So with Bytes, I think at one point, and Becker did mention, at one point the price will get low where people will start minting the S1 NFTs, because you need 2,000 bytes, which is around $36,000. And then you still need the other 3 NFTs, as we saw here, which would be the vault, the item, and the land to compile, to finalize your S1, to upload your S1 as a full citizen. You could also burn 500 bytes for a land. So when Bytes gets that cheap, cheaper than the NFTs listed on OpenSea, you'll have a lot of people buying Bytes and burning them to mint these citizens, to mint the identity, to mint the land, and then they'll be buying up the other NFTs that they need. So I'm not sure how low it'll go till it gets to that point. And there's a lot of bytes that are being produced per day. So I have a 5 byte per day, and like you can see, you can claim 100 bytes as of right now. It's been a crazy year. Enjoy the family and maybe ask your wife out on a date. You can see 100 bytes is 1790, 0.6 ETH. And this is very well done, this website. I love checking it almost every day. So you can see my daily yields, the monthly yields, and the annual yields. Obviously, when Bytes was at $150, $200, this was like 15 grand a month. But at these prices, I'm still happy with $2,500. And if we go back to the S1, that's what I was mentioning about the reward rate. You will earn bytes per day. You can save up those bytes to mint another identity. You can save up those bytes for burning reasons, which I have no idea when they're going to come or if you can burn them in the future. I'm assuming you really could. And there's a lot of other reasons you might want to stack it, use it in game, just for the appreciation and price and all that great stuff. So I hope I covered a lot of people's questions. I'm still bullish on NeoTokyo, and a lot of people are asking if it's a great time to jump into these prices. I honestly think that if you can snag a high reward rate, and if you can get a good offer for like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 byte, or if you're going for that 15 byte, maybe now is the time where you can get a great deal. Or if you want to wait for Bitcoin to make its decision, because if we end up making lower lows, I think NFTs will follow. I think the price of bytes will follow, and it just wouldn't be overall great for the market. We would see more panic, we would see more capitulation, and we would see more people just underselling. As I mentioned, I have a 5 byte per day, and I do watch the floor, and the floor has been falling a few ETH per day. Like yesterday it was 45 and now it's 40, so maybe tomorrow will be 35. People will keep panicking. Those good deals won't be there forever though. People will snatch them, and they will be long-term holders, because people buying into NeoTokyo at this price are looking forward to build, are looking for the alpha, are looking to be in this community where you have these other people who got this free NFT, and they may have just wanted to hold it for as long as possible to get as much as possible, and now they're ready to sell. So at one point, hopefully, the 199 that are up for sale will only be reduced and reduced and reduced, and then at one point there might be only 10 or 50 or 75 for sale, and they might be very expensive. I mean, it's not financial advice. I don't know how low NeoTokyo can go down. It's still very possible that this splits in half, and then the 1 bytes are going for 8, 9, 10 ETH, and then the higher bytes are still going for a lot, because you have long-term holders, you have people who value the bytes and that are looking, generally long-term. So that's a quick video on NeoTokyo, what's to come. I'm still looking to acquire the land through the PUBG tournament to form my S2 and just see the benefits that come with it, whether it's allocations, if it's just the community, more investments, more whitelist opportunities. We'll see what it comes with. It doesn't make sense for me to sell it now. I mean, if you over leverage yourself, if you bought it at the top, then it's a lot harder to make these decisions. I think long term, NeoTokyo, with the people behind it and the community that's already built, I think it's here to stay, and we're only going to see some good stuff. There will definitely be, ups and downs. It'll be a roller coaster ride, especially with NFTs that are high valued like this. There's less volume and there's generally less buyers. So I believe that if NeoTokyo isn't already, it will become a blue chip. It's very confusing to a lot of people, even to NFT traders that have been here for a while. So I think when all the citizens are formed, all the games are done with, more people will be aware, more people will be interested in it. And I still think there's a long way for NeoTokyo to go. We're still very early. I know you guys hear that all the time, but the community is still being built. The infrastructure is still being built. I mean, the S2s are not even formed yet. So imagine when we have the, 2,000 plus the 4,500, 6,500 people all working towards the same goals, all working towards building the infrastructure, the community, finding opportunities. It will be nuts. If you commit to NeoTokyo, you help build, you give it all you can, you immerse yourself in the community, I think there are more opportunities to make back the floor price, especially with the network that's in NeoTokyo. It just depends on how much you're going to give it. So post your thoughts below. Good luck on the tournament tomorrow, and I'll see you guys soon.